Okay, so here we are, folks. I just ran the saw and it currently has a used C83 that is freshly sharpened by me, and I really gave it all the effort, okay? I really tried to make it as fast as I could. And I'll show you here just a second. The raker gauge, or the rakers are set to 25 thousandths of an inch. Stock height is even lower than that. I can't tell you exactly why, but I can tell you that these C83s like to be ran, from what I know, right? They like to be ran with a high raker. Okay, now let's see if we can have a look at this. All right, can you make out anything there? I really tried to go deep. Let's do this. There we go. With my file, so that it would be a nice smooth flow. Most everything, I hit the chassis a little bit, most everyone. It doesn't have too much of a hook on it, or at least, I mean, I don't think it's too much of a hook. And that file, what I mean by going deep with it, I mean it's very deeply angled, right? So instead of just coming like you normally do, where you're just going straight across like this, I went down and up with my file, like that. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. I don't know. It definitely cut really well. I did just cut with it, and it felt like it cut really well. Did it cut faster than a stocker? I don't know. Damn it. Some bars really do. You know, Dub was talking about this the other day in his video. TW. That's who Dub is. Some chains, or some bars, I mean, they just seem to clog up faster. And so that hole, yeah, you might have more oil flow, but if something gets down in there and caught, could be bad news. Seems to clog up that oiler passage. Now, I have not made any adjustments since I ran the chain that I sharpened, and it's been less than a handful of minutes, so the saw should be nicely warmed up. I will say this though, I went ahead and I swapped out the 7-pin sprocket for an 8-pin sprocket. Definitely not going to go with the 9-pin sprocket on this thing, because we're going to be going in bigger wood. The Johnson Red, I got it with the 9-pin sprocket because it's going to be small wood that it gets ran in. Boy, these clone saws, man. I don't know what is wrong with their tensioning system, but every time Every single one of them too are like this. You got to have that chain pretty darn good and loose, because whenever you tighten up the bolts, the bar bolts, it tightens up the chain. So, real pain in the butt. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do a few cuts with it here and just see how she behaves. There is no way that the one I sharpened is that fast. That's just blasting through there. Blasting. I guess while we're doing the testing, I should go ahead and test to see if it's faster with the 7-pin or if it's faster with the 8-pin. So, hold that thought for a moment. I'm going to go slap an 8-pin sprocket on here. Whew! I'm sorry, 7-pin. Because with the 7-pin, it was able to hit 12,200 RPMs. Okay, so I'm back. I'm back and I can't find my tack. Ah, it's in my pocket. There it is. Yay. Because I'm going to run it and then I'm going to lean it out a quarter of a turn. So, anyways, here we go. I bet you that right there is going to be the fastest. So it's running with a 7-pin sprocket. Right now, I was doing 12,600 RPMs in the cut. So that's an entire 1,000 RPMs more than it was cutting at with the 8-pin sprocket on there. So does the 8-pin make up that difference? Probably not. You can do the math on it. I bet you that right there is the fastest run. Let's give one more rip on it. Okay, so from this video footage, I'll be able to see which combination was actually the fastest, where my carburetor was actually fastest. Did it like to run a little bit richer? Did it like to run a little bit more lean? You know, it'll teach me a lot. So I've said it a bunch of times before, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, videoing this stuff is a great tool, all right? Because no one is as good with their stopwatch as the video, okay? Nobody. And if you want to get really, if you got something you're really measuring, I can do 100 frames per second, you know? So, yeah, can I do 100? It might be 120. I know I can do 60 frames per second, and I might be able to do 120 and 240 frames per second. And so, anyways, you can get really down technical and figure out how fast things are going and stuff. But either way, both chains cut really nice. Of course, the out-of-the-box cuts great. I have my problems with chain sharpening, always have. Was I able to successfully make a C83 faster than it is out of the box? I don't know. But one of those two chains is probably what I'm going to run at SawFest on this saw right here. And also, I've got enough footage to see which was faster, the 8-pin sprocket or the 7-pin sprocket. So my money is stock. My money is on the stock chain, 7-pin sprocket. I think that's the fastest combination for the saw that I've built and my capabilities with sharpening. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so, well, the fastest was the 8-pin sprocket with the brand new untouched C83 chain. What can I say? That chain is hard to beat. And you'll see right there what you just saw is the C83. My chain that I sharpened is also a C83. Did it in 8.29 seconds, which is good. It is respectable, right? There's nothing wrong with that chain. It cut well. However, the untouched did it at 7.16 seconds. That's something else. So that was the fastest cut. Whenever I switched to the 7-pin, it was holding real steady at about 7.2 seconds. Yeah. 7.2, 7.22, 7.23. So I got real rock steady times with the 7-pin setup, and sorry, trying to switch back and forth between the cameras and stuff like that. Anyways, so what am I going to run at SawFest? Well, I'm definitely going to run a stock C83 chain, unless between now and then for this saw I can get something that cuts faster. But I don't think that I don't think that I will. And I know that other people have different results and stuff, but like Brian, Smitty, I hope you're watching this, buddy. I know that you have tested your chains against the C83, and I don't doubt you that your chain cut faster in that scenario for sure. You know, I don't think you're lying or anything. You see what I'm saying? But what I will say is, I bet you that chain wasn't right out of the box, was it? the C83. Because they are just so damn sharp right out of the box. It's hard to beat them. It is hard. Now, but people do. People do not all the time, but People do. I've seen it happen. I will be running one on my Johnson Red that was faster than out of the box, or at least I think it was. I mean, Jeff did the tests. I'll do my own tests with it and stuff like that. But all I'm saying is it's hard to get the chain faster than a C83 out of the box. I have put it up against all kinds of stuff. And if my memory is correct, actually, I don't think anything has beaten it at all. Maybe Steve McDowell, he sharpened a square file for me, and it did really good, but I don't think it beat it either. Anyways, doesn't matter. Point is I tried, and again, I failed. Boy, I was stroking that chain. I felt good, brothers. I was like, this thing gonna cut. And it probably will. My rakers are too low. That's my guess. I set the rakers at 25 thousandths because I did so much cutting that I knew that my raker was going to be too high. So, I sharpened so much, it made my tooth shorter. So I knew my raker was going to be too high. But the only way that I have to conveniently measure those rakers is to just take my raker gauge and lay it on there and file. And the highest setting I have is 25 thousandths. If I had 20 thousandths, I don't know. I know it's contrary to what a lot of people think and stuff like that, but what I'm seeing, I'm having good luck with high rakers. I am. So anyways, but whatever. This video's long and convoluted, and Smitty buddy, I mean, just say it. If your chain was directly out of the box, and I'll believe you, absolutely. But I would like to know, did that chain, that C83 that you were testing, did it have some time on it? Because straight out of the box, I have not found anything that was as surefire bet as a C83 out of the box. That's, I've had some good chains run through my hands, you know what I mean? That square cut, that square grind, I've had square grind out of the box. I've had square grind that other people have made on their saws. I've had square grind that people have made for me. And the best square grind that I've had to date is the one that Jeff made. And he ain't lying. He's like, go use that chain, process a tree with it and stuff. And I haven't gotten a chance to do that, but I will. I can tell you, I know already I'm going to love it because, yeah, you can turn that saw like that and in the cut, and it'll change. You can cut with that square grind chain really well. And the way he put it, he's like, there's a reason why pretty much all of the pros that are like out felling trees, tons and tons and tons over on the West Coast, pretty much all of them are running square grind. And it's like, yeah, it does cut really nice, and it's really smooth. It's easier on your saw, everything. But anyways, that's enough of that. This video's whatever. I got what I wanted, okay? I tested everything, and definitely going to be running the C83, like I said, unless something comes in, I come into contact with something between now and then that's faster than a stock C83. I know a lot, so many people, it's like, oh, I can get it faster. I mean, I get comments all the time, man. The comment, somebody from Europe, I can't remember your name, but somebody over in Europe just recently was like, that chain will be faster with a nice hand file on it. And let me tell you, I just put a nice hand file on it, and it ain't faster. And it's good. If you saw the pictures, I mean, I, I really took my time. I did one side, then I came in and I had lunch, and I went back out and I did the second side. I mean, I was really working it, and that's with the 7/32 file. I'm having good luck with that because the C83 is a smaller. It's a shorter chain, you know, like an Oregon. It's got a lot of height on it, and I think, anyways, it seems that way to me. And so the typical, what is it, 7/8? Is that right? No. I'm using a 13/64 file, not the typical 7/32 file. Sorry about that. Got that a little bit backwards. The 7/32 file is a little bit bigger, and that 13/64 can get under the tooth a lot better. And so I'm having luck with that. This is the fastest C83 I've ever been able to file. So something's working. Anyways, but I will probably run, even though the 8-pin was a tick faster, I will probably run the 7-pin because they're so close. I think they were within like 8/100ths of a second, or maybe even less than that. But they were so close that I wouldn't want to risk it if I didn't have a perfect run and I pushed a little too hard or something like that. I want the torque of the 7-pin, you know, and that's just me. But that is consistent with the testings that I have done in considerably bigger wood, considerably bigger. I prefer to have the 7-pin. The saws seem to, it got beat by the 8-pin, but barely. I mean, barely. So not worth the risk, because whenever you're racing, you get the adrenaline pumping and you might push a little bit too hard and stuff. So I'll be running 7-pin unless I get up there and I see what they're running. It's only 12 inches, Anyways.